Hey y'all, Jamie here, proud 55-year-old trans woman from New Orleans. So, where last I left off, I was in a car with a couple of hustlers driving it, and my best friend Terry and her new boyfriend Tony, who had just pulled out a bag of cocaine and a syringe with a cup of water. Now, y'all, Terry saw this, and you got to keep in mind, now, we were not innocent to cocaine or anything, I'm not saying that, but we were kind of anti-coke at the time because, when we moved to Hollywood, we were like, we're not going to do all that here. And so she hauled off and slapped the shit out of him. I mean, she hauled off and slapped the piss out of him, and she grabbed the coke and the syringe and the water and threw it all out in the middle of the damn street in Santa Monica Boulevard. We were passing right by Okie Dogs when she did it too. Just threw it all out in the middle of the street, girl. So, anyway, they had this huge fight. Like, he didn't hit her back. I'll give him that. He didn't hit her back. But they have this huge fight, right? So, anyway, they ended up staying together, though. Like, they worked it out. And so, we are, working in West Hollywood. And I gotta be honest, there was a couple of new cops that didn't like the dolls. I mentioned this the other day. There were a couple of new cops in West Hollywood that did not appreciate the dolls. Well, one night, I'm out by myself, and I'm down the street from 7-Eleven and the car wash. And I'm like not hiding, but I'm like on the corner trying to do my thing, right? And so, I see Eddie Murphy, and I hear his car, and I see him driving down the street, and I'm like, oh God, here he comes. And I thought, good, I'll make some money because I hadn't made money yet, right? And Eddie was good for, usually Eddie gave me like 400 at a time, to be honest. It was usually like 400 at a time. And so, anyway, right when I'm about to go around the corner to go meet him, who pulls up? Fucking West Hollywood sheriffs. Yeah, West Hollywood sheriffs rolled up on me, but it was Officer Butchie. I had gone out on a date with this cop, and he had the hots for me. And I thought they were coming to get me, y'all. And he was like, Jamie, what are you doing, girl? How are you? You look really beautiful tonight. That kind of thing. And his partner gets out of the car. And real nice guy. He introduced him to me, and they were like, what are you doing? And I said, y'all got to go. Like, y'all got to scram. Eddie's coming. Because, see, the Hollywood sheriffs, the West Hollywood sheriffs, they all knew that Eddie Murphy liked the dolls. They all knew it. And so they were like, really? Where's he at? We want to see. And I was like, would y'all get out of here? He's not going to pick me up if y'all are right here. And here I am. I have the nerve to, like, shoo 2 cops away. Like, I'm like, get out of here, scram. What are you doing? You're messing up my business. And so they get in the car and they go. All right? So I see Eddie, and I should mention, I was sort of seeing a little hustler boy, I was a man, it wasn't a child, but a little hustler boy. And he was in my room back at the hotel, right? So I see Eddie, and obviously I couldn't take him back to the hotel with the boy there. Well, Eddie stops and he gives me $400, and he's like, listen, I'll call you in a little while. I've got some stuff to do at the studio. And then he was going to call me from the studio where he was, where he worked over in Studio City. I actually know a girl that went to his studio office with him and did a striptease for him. Anyway, it was Puerto Rican Tracy, my Puerto Rican Tracy. Yeah, she dated Eddie too. So he gives me the $400, and he's like, Jamie, go home. I don't have a bad feeling the cops haven't been acting right, because he knew about the other cops that had been kind of shady to the dolls, like real shady recently. And so Eddie was like, go home and I'll call you, right? Well, he said he was going to be a while, so I thought I would tip around and still keep trying to work, right? So about a half hour later, apparently he didn't go back to the studio like he said, because a half hour later he runs into me again on a side street. And he's like, Jamie, I told you to go home. What are you doing? And I said, Eddie, I owe a lot of money. Like, I owe some money at my hotel. And, unfortunately, 400 is just not enough, darling. So he gave me another 400. So I had $800 off of Eddie that night. Now, I go back to the hotel, And the boy that was staying with me, he, I tell him, listen, Eddie Murphy's about to call me, so I need you to kind of scram so that I can have phone sex with him. And he was like, he's like, yeah, right. Like, Eddie Murphy's going to call you. And I said, okay, I'll tell you what, you answer the fucking phone then. So, y'all, a couple of, like, 10, 15 minutes later, the phone rings. And the little boy goes to answer the phone. He turns around with this look on his face like, he's like, oh my fucking God, it's Eddie Murphy. He wants to talk to you. I said, I told you, dumbass. Now get the fuck out of here. So I get on the phone with Eddie, and, you know, we do our thing. And so another night, I go back out to Santa Monica Boulevard the next night, and there's a police helicopter flying over our heads with the spotlight on us. And the evil cops that did not like the dolls were out that night. If y'all want to know what happened next, y'all know the routine. Be here tomorrow and I will too. I love you all. I love you all for watching, and I love you for the comments. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.